back to the... Oh, messed that up. I had it there for a minute.
Okay.
All right. Back to the left?
Yeah. Nope. Start over.
Okay. Gonna go right?
Yeah.
Right rudder, left, right aileron?
Rudder too soon. Start over.
Too soon?
Yeah.
We are back here, Casual Pilot. There's the plane right there. We're gonna go flying again. And if you hear some noise out there, that's because it's a little windy, but the wind is right down the runway. Like right now, it's right down the runway, so we should probably be off the ground in like 100 feet. We're going to be doing STOL today, folks. Might be a little bumpy, but it's going to be a fun ride. Another lesson for me, and it'll be good to get used to some wind kind of stuff. I might not want to venture out in this when I get started, but it'll be a good experience anyway. Thanks again for watching all of these fun adventures we're having, and we're looking forward to doing some more flying and stuff. Make sure to subscribe down there on the bottom and like and leave comments. Don't just leave the comments on Facebook, but also leave them on the video. It helps our rankings and our searching and makes it much easier. So enjoy the flight today. We have a treat. I got another camera. So we're going to have a camera looking at us, and hopefully it won't fall off this time because I moistened the suction cup. And then we also have a new camera looking out the front of the plane, and I have a special filter on it that should get rid of that funky looking prop that happens with action cameras. And we have one, I don't know if you can see it, out on the wing. It's kind of right there. We got a camera hanging on the wing and one over our shoulder in a little bit better spot, so you should be able to see the cockpit better. So should be interesting flight. Enjoy the footage, and thanks for coming along on the ride. And yes, we hope the audio is going to be better today. We will see when we get back down on the ground. Thanks.
So a little bit about our flight today.
Oh yeah, what are we doing today, Jake?
We're going to go up flying in the local area. Going to go out to the practice area again.
This way.
We talked about last time our practice area. So we're based down here at Brooklyn Airport at Oregon, Wisconsin. Our practice area goes out to the town of Belleville, down to the town of Brooklyn, and back up to a lake just northwest of the airport here. So we're going to go out into our practice area. We're going to try some slow flight.
Cool. I've been reading about that. That sounds. It should be ground speed should be real slow.
Real slow today.
Like hovering over.
Yep.
Not
So we're going to go out and do a little bit of slow flight. Probably a couple stalls. Come back, try a couple landings, and see how it goes. And hopefully, I know you've been reading Stick and Rudder the last couple weeks, so
we'll see if anything stuck.
Yep.
Or sticked. Or something. All right. So.
All right. Well, let's go flying.
Contact. Contact.
In pre-flight.
Yep. Interior and exterior inspection is complete.
Log and documents are on board. Control lock removed.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't done my seatbelt yet. Circuit breakers, there are none. Tack time, you noted?
Yep, noted.
Weight and balance review, it's complete.
We
Crew
conducted
briefing.
that.
Hello.
Yeah, crew briefing. So we'll be staying, we'll go out to the practice area.
Okay.
I'll be taking off runway 31, and then we can do our departure briefing. So the weather, we got wind out of about 300, looks like about 10 gusting to 15 maybe. Abnormals, if we have an engine failure on the runway, we'll stay on the runway. Anything below about 300 feet will land on the farm road. 300 to 500 we'll go into the field on the other side of the highway. 500 to 1,000 we'll turn maximum 45 degrees left or right, find a field to land in. And above 1,000 feet we'll come back to the airport.
Sounds good.
And runway length and condition, runway is 3,000 feet long. It should be pretty firm today. It is a grass runway. It's mowed, it's firm, it should be good. Taxi plan, we're going to go out around the hangars, down here, do our run-up, back taxi, take off on 31, go out to the west. And special considerations, it is windy. Also, we're filming, so of course that's always a consideration. And that's about all I got for the departure briefing.
Passenger briefing is complete.
I'm
You're locked. My door is closed.
Yep.
Windows closed.
Yep.
Seat belts fastened.
Yep.
Doors closed and latched. Parking brake is still set.
Yep.
Fuel selector is on because we are running. The radio, is it on?
No, it is not. So the green button here to turn it on. And then we have to set our frequency 1, 2. Here, let's see a second. 12290. And let's check our squelch. There we go. Radio is on.
To use it, push the button or
Yep, push the button on the side.
there, the big one?
Yep.
Okay, your radio is on.
Yep.
All right, you'll have to help me because I want to do the call.
Yep.
Okay, starting. We're up and running, correct?
Yep, we are up and running. And you can do after start.
After start, oil pressure. We're up to 60, which is in the ballpark, correct?
Yep.
The temperature is pushing 100.
Yep, that's good.
Time is noted.
I started my
Okay.
stopwatch.
Radio is on.
Yep.
All right. Before takeoff, controls checked. Okay, we box them, right?
We can save the before takeoff.
Oh, that's
control
before
out.
takeoff
Yep.
out there. Okay.
Not quite
So
there
we'll
yet.
throw that up here for now.
Yep. And you can release the parking brake.
Whoops.
All the way back. You can put your left hand on the yoke, pull it all the way back. Right hand on the throttle. Give it some gas.
Set off the brakes.
Yep. And we can just kind of steer up here between the hangars. Test, test, test. There we go. Just kind of steer up here between the hangars. There.
One of these days I'll get comfortable with the speed.
Yep. This is a good speed. In a tail dragger particularly, you just keep the yoke centered. Don't steer with the yoke, steer with your feet. This is not a steering wheel. Just hold it
I
back.
was just trying to hold it back and it's
Yep.
just naturally pulling.
Yeah.
Hey, once you get past the hangar, start the turn, correct?
Yeah, you can turn and we can go around the front of the hangars.
Okay, and then once we head back down, we need to turn the yoke to the right, correct?
Yeah, the yoke to the right now because the wind is down the runway, so it's coming from our right. Keep going. And we can come around the front of the hangars here.
Go left.
Left, yep. Hold, yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's full left.
Yeah, and there you go, that's good.
We want a taxi on the black part.
Nope.
Right here's fine.
Yeah, right here. I would actually avoid that because that's fly ash, and that can pick up grit into the propeller. You can slow down now. And we can go left a little bit, and then we'll turn around hard right.
Hard right.
Yeah, just a second. Here. And hard right. So all the way right, power, yoke back, right brake, hold it, pump the right brake, 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 brake.
Thought I was.
More brake, more brake. You're not on the brake. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, you're not getting brakes.
I'm on the brake.
Hard right brake, more brake, more brake. Let off it a second, pump it. Pump it. There you go, that's what we wanted. Now hold both brakes. Oops, now we need to go back the other way.
Got left on.
Left. And there we go. You can just hold both brakes now.
Got my heel on the ground. I'm having trouble getting on them because there's a bar down there.
Yeah, so you need to move your heels up if that's
That's
the
what
case.
I'm on them hard now. I
Yeah.
can feel the pressure.
Yeah, you need to know where those brakes are, because
I
yeah, that needs to be instinct.
Okay, before takeoff, controls. This is where we box
Yep.
them, correct?
Yep.
So all the way back,
Yep.
full left. Elevator. Oh, I do see it, barely.
Yep.
Yep, I see it go up. Okay, then full forward, full right, correct?
Yep.
Down, right is up.
Yep.
Elevator back there?
Yep. Okay, so that's not really a. That's,
keeps
what
hitting
you did is not really a box, because you went left and right and then forward and that back. Left, back,
Right,
this way.
and then front.
There we go.
Yes, now we'll quit hitting the throttle.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Yep.
Okay, instruments.
So you can set it to 1,000 feet, so it's showing 1,500 right now.
Holy smokies.
Yep.
So-
So pressure down.
To 1,000, which is
Yep.
about where we're at, right?
Yep.
All right. Everything else,
Yep.
our pressure still at 60. Our temp's up to about 125, 130. That's good.
Yep.
Yes, we looking like full up there.
Yep. Or almost.
Attitude trim is set to neutral.
Yep.
Radio set.
And run up. So hold
Run
the
up.
yoke all the way back. 1,600 RPM. Check the magneto. So one click to the left. That's left mag. Back to both. Two clicks to the left. That's right mag. Back to both. About a 15 RPM drop on each.
That's what we want, correct?
Yep. And then you can check the carb heat. Oh, you're not
Oh,
done.
carb heat
You're not
is-
done yet.
Our heat is
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Load down, about 100, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can really tell it.
Oh yeah. Check your oil pressure.
60
Check your oil temperature.
on about 130.
Yep.
Cabin heat is right there, which we don't. Could probably turn on just to warm us
Yep.
up a little bit.
And then now you're done. Now you can throttle back. So for the run up,
Let's idle at about 1,000, correct?
well, you can idle it all the way down now because it's warm. Yeah, for the run up, it's 1,600. You're gonna check your mags. You're gonna check your carb heat, oil pressure, oil temperature, and then throttle back. Something else you can look at. You can see our suction gauge over here, so that runs our gyros over here.
That's the little device out on the
right.
edge.
And as you throttle up,
Ah,
you,
I
can,
see.
you can see how the prop wash,
Creates
the
a little
slip-
bit of vacuum in there.
the slipstream. Yep.
Heading, we're going to be taking off on 3-1, correct?
Yep. And it'll be a left turn after the takeoff. It'll be a left turn. We're gonna go.
Once we're up to about 500 or
Yep,
1,000.
gonna go up out to the west. Well, actually, here, as soon as we're off the runway, we make a little bit of a left turn to sort of follow that farm road, so we don't fly directly over the trees.
All right. Altitude, are we going to go up to 2,000 and cruise again, or 3,000?
3,000 initially.
Okay, lights, we don't have any. Time is noted.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That checklist is complete.
Yeah.
While we're up there today, can you help me make sure I got my directions right? Maybe
Yep.
quiz me a little bit on that.
Yep. Sounds good. So we're headed 300 right now.
Right. But the runway's a little bit off there.
Yep. 310 is the runway. So you can go out onto the runway. We've been listening. I don't hear any traffic, but you can squeeze the thing.
What do I say?
You can say, so the standard format is you say where you are. So Brooklyn Severud traffic.
Okay.
Aranca 85917. That's who we are. So where
Correct.
you are, who you are, what you're doing. Back taxi runway 31.
Back taxi runway 31.
And then repeat where you are, Brooklyn Severud. So
Alright.
the whole thing will sound like this. Brooklyn Severud traffic, Aranca 85917, back taxi runway 31, Brooklyn Severud.
Brooklyn Severud.
Traffic.
Brooklyn Severud traffic. Aranca 85917. Back taxi runway Brooklyn Severud.
Yeah, except you say each digit individually, 85917.
Brooklyn Severu traffic, Ronca 85917, back taxi on runway 31, Brooklyn Severu.
Perfect. Okay, yoke back, check on your left. So when you're turning a tail dragger, throttle back, slow down, stop, 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 stop.
Okay.
So when you're turning a tail dragger, you have to, remember, the turn will keep going and get tighter and tighter and tighter unless you do something to stop it. So when you're turning, you have to go full opposite rudder to stop the turn, about a quarter turn before you want to straighten out, because it takes a while.
Can't ease in.
Yeah, it takes a while to straighten out.
Okay.
And if you don't go opposite, it'll just keep going around a circle and around a circle and around a circle. All right. Brooklyn Severu traffic, Aeronautical 85917, departing runway 31, Brooklyn Severu, westbound. Okay, so wind is coming a little bit from the left. It's mostly down the runway, so we will start with a little bit of left aileron. And I'll do the takeoff. I'll have you follow along with me, okay?
Yep, I'm very easy on the pedals.
Okay, so all good to go.
Oh, throttle up, correct. Oh,
Yep. And then we have HTML, so heading, here,
heading, transponder trim,
are set.
mixture for
Mixtures-
takeoff. We don't have mixture, light set.
Yep,
Okay.
and that should be stuck to the...
Heading matches runway, where our compass is up about.
All right,
Okay,
ready?
I'm gonna let you go on that.
And hold on to the yoke so you can feel what I'm doing. So I'm going to go 1500 so it doesn't stumble. And then smoothly to full power. A little bit left on the yoke. Full forward to get the tail up. Feel how I'm dancing on the rudder. My feet never stop moving.
Tail's up now, right?
I'm letting off the aileron because we're already banking into the wind a little bit. And... woohoo!
Wow.
Climbing out about 60. So pitch up a little bit.
Very gentle turn off to get away from the trees, right?
Yep.
Normally we would go straight though, correct?
Normally we'd go straight, that's correct. And we're already clear of the trees, so we can just go back on the runway heading now.
Hey, we're going west still, correct?
We're on the runway heading until we get up to about 500 feet, then we'll turn west. So when you're ready, you have the airplane. Hand on the throttle, keep it all the way in. Pitch up for about 60. And keep the airplane going straight. Keep the ball in the center with the rudder.
Oh, sorry.
Keep the ball in the center, so step on the ball. Step on the ball. Step on the ball. Right rudder. Remember how we talked about torque and P-factor and twisting slipstream?
Yep.
Right rudder, more right rudder, more right rudder.
Wow.
It's all about the rudder.
Trying to get the airspeed down to 60 and
Yeah, just pull back a little more. Keep the right rudder going in. Right rudder. Hold the right rudder.
because we're still climbing, correct?
We're still climbing. Hold the right rudder. So that's a little too much.
Thought so. Kept feeling like we were, I don't know.
Level the wings. Level the wings. You gotta actually fly the airplane here. The airplane's not gonna fly itself.
I know, I'm just afraid to go ailerons because that's my tendency. Still need to slow down a little bit, correct?
That's correct.
So pull back a tiny bit.
Yep, keep more right rudder. Keep the ball in the center. There you go. That's a little better. That's too much.
Yep. I gotta quit looking at the rudder. I gotta feel this.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't put a piece of yarn on the windshield. Oh,
I know,
we'll
it's
get that.
too late to do anything about it now.
Yeah.
Are we still going west, or we kind of ventured a little bit northwest?
Well, we never actually turned west. We were still on the runway heading.
Still, they're not slowing down to 60.
Yeah, that means you got to pull back more. Pull. Pull, pull. Okay, and you can turn to the west when you're ready. We're still not west, so there's west. So if you look out the left and look out the right, you can see the lines between the fields. Oh, right rudder. You got to keep that right rudder in there. Keep that nose up. You got to actually fly the airplane. You got to do something here.
Just feel like we're like too high of an angle of attack. It almost feels like.
Well, now you're not climbing at all, and you're going way too fast.
I know. It's very disorienting. I will get this. Still got to hold right rudder, although I'm seeing the ball go left on me.
Yeah. Now you're getting off. You get into this thing where you have to think faster because you're doing what the airplane was doing 2 seconds ago. You got to be doing what the airplane's doing now.
Getting a little there.
Yeah, more right rudder. But you gotta learn to do rudder in small increments. You can't just mash it like that. It's not like an RC where you can just go.
Yeah, no kidding.
You gotta feather it. It's.
Well, we're up to 2,500.
Yeah, you can hold. Yeah, keep that right rudder going. Okay, I have the airplane for a second.
Okay.
So, feel how I'm holding the right rudder in there, keeping that ball in the center. And I'm not doing a whole lot. Once you get it stable, you don't have to do anything. But if it gets off, you have to. Problem is, it gets off, and then you correct. But you correct too much, and then you're correcting the wrong way, and then it goes the other way, and you're correcting the wrong way. So you have to think faster. You have to mentally keep up with the airplane.
Correct.
Keeping the ball in the center with a little bit of right rudder. So when I turn to the left, all it takes is that much rudder. Feel that?
Very little rudder.
When I go to the right, it takes a little bit more, but still not much. Okay?
All right, I think you got us up to almost 3,000 finally.
Yeah.
Okay, are we going north now?
Yeah, that was north. We're turning back to the west. So some landmarks. Off there, you see the Platteville Mounds kind of silhouetted over there.
Yep,
so
I did see that.
That's off to the west. Madison Lake's off to our right, off to the north.
Yep.
And ahead on our left is Belleville.
Yeah, see that? There's the lake that goes through there, the river.
Yep. And then just this lake ahead on our right.
That's the ski lake, correct?
That's the ski lake, Lake Levine, correct. Okay, so we're at 3,000 feet. You have the airplane. And let's try looking under the left wing, and you can make a check for traffic. You can make a left turn to south.
Should end up following that road down there,
That's
correct?
correct. A little bit more. If you look out the left and right, you see the wings aren't quite lined up east-west yet.
Now we are.
Now you're going south, so you can see how all the parallel lines are lined up.
You have that benefit here.
So off the left side, now you see the airport.
I see it.
Yep, straight off our left. So look to the right, and we can make a right turn back towards the west. A little bit more rudder when you roll in there. There you go.
I remember reading you get the rudder to start the turn and the ailerons and elevator hold the turn.
Yep.
Okay, once we're heading right for those 4 silos, correct?
More or less, yep. You've gained a little bit of altitude too. You're up to 3,000.
You need to push the nose down,
yep.
correct?
Yeah. So see, now you're getting into that
Yep.
back and forth oscillation where you get backwards on the rudder. So push the nose down a little bit, get back down to 3,000.
Will we gain too much speed by doing that?
No. Get the nose down until you get back down to 3,000. There you go. So why don't we do just keep it going straight. Don't get backwards with the rudder, and you're going up again. Keep that nose down. You're back up to 3,200.
Sorry.
Small changes.
Still wanting right rudder.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry about that. I realized that as soon as I did it. I'm just about back right, trying to level off.
Yeah.
Down a little bit.
And don't look at the instruments too much either. Pretty much just look out over the nose.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
The horizon should be like inches above the cowling, correct?
Yeah, so when you're ready, you can make a right turn all the way back around to east.
180?
180, so look to the right first. Whenever you start a turn, always look under the wing, make sure there's no airplanes there. More rudder. There you go. Ooh.
Sorry, messed that up.
Yeah. More rudder, a little bit more.
We'll want to come parallel to that tree line down there, correct?
Yeah, you're going to line up with the lines between the fields going east now. I don't quite understand why you're fine for a while and then you get into this, like, going backwards.
I'm trying to get the wings level, and it gets away from me when I try and get the wings level. I know I'm doing it, that's the problem. Yeah, I got the ball in the middle right now.
Yep. So let's try those coordination rolls again. So just roll right, and so I'll take the airplane for a second.
Okay.
And you feel what I'm doing. So I'm going to get you back down to your altitude that you should be at. There's 3,000. And I'm just going to go left and right, so just feel what I'm doing.
The nose still points pretty much to the same spot.
Yep. So when I roll, the nose pretty much rotates around a point, right?
Touch.
So you try that now. Keep that nose rotating around a point by coordinating. Whoop. Already going way off. So just look at the nose, look at the point, keep it going. Keep the nose.
Let me find a mark out there.
Yeah.
Plane level.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, the ball was way over the left. So here we go. We're going to go right.
Okay. And Whoa.
Much right aileron?
Too much rudder.
Much rudder?
Yeah. So when you roll, is the nose going the same direction or opposite direction? If it's going the same direction, you're using too much rudder. If it's going opposite direction, you're not using enough.
All right, let's try that again.
Yeah.
We're going straight.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go up. Let me straighten out
Okay.
here.
So let's try something. Okay. I have the yoke. You have the rudders. Okay. And I'm going to get us lined up here. Okay. And you have the rudders. I'm going to roll left and right. You try to keep that nose. All you have to do, hand off the yoke. All you have to do is keep the nose. See that road that's headed off towards the lake?
Yep.
Keep the nose on that road. Okay. You need to be using more rudder. Right rudder.
More.
Left rudder. Right rudder. Left rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder.
Okay, lots more rudder than I'm used to.
Left rudder. Right rudder.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Sorry. I thought I was getting in your rhythm there, and I thought you were coming back.
No.
Nope, sorry.
No, I'm gonna do it unpredictably, and you have to keep up.
Hey, I'm sorry.
So get that ball in the center. Right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder. Okay. Ready?
Oh.
Oh, now right rudder.
Oh.
Get it. No, too much. Okay, ready?
Oh.
Right rudder. Hold the right. Left rudder. Right rudder. Hold the right rudder. Hold the right rudder. Hold the right rudder. Hold the right rudder. Left rudder. Left rudder. Hold the left rudder. Too much. Too much. Way too much. Right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder. Left rudder. Left. Oh, quicker. Oh, just get it in the center now. We're just trying to go straight now. So now you try it. So I'll demonstrate it once more. And I'm going to get us back up on 3,000 feet here. So feel what I'm doing on the yoke, feel what I'm doing on the rudder now, okay? Left, right, left, right, left, back to center. Okay, you try it.
One thing I was noticing there, I was trying to think the nose had to stay right on that end of that lake up there. But what we're trying to do is when the plane banks left, is keep the nose flowing with it.
Yep. So
I think that's the mental part I was making a mistake on.
It'll only be stationary for the initial part of it, and then it'll go.
Correct, and I was thinking we were trying to keep it stationary
Yeah, no.
the whole way.
Nope.
All right, we're up a little too high again.
Yep. And you're kind of off into the tules here too, so pick a point.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Let's give it a whirl, right?
Too much right.
Left.
Well, that's a little better. Right. Oh,
That's right.
Too slow on the left.
Okay, back to the left.
Way too much.
Touch. All right, I'm getting too much rudder. Okay, right.
Yeah. Looking good.
Back to the left.
Rudder too soon.
Rudder too soon. Okay, right. Okay, back to the... Oh, messed that up.
You're way
I had
off.
it there for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Back to the left.
Yeah. Nope. Start over.
Okay. Gonna go right.
Yeah.
Right rudder, left, right aileron.
Rudder too soon. Start over.
Too soon.
Yeah.
So we've got to bank a little first.
It should happen at the same time, but the problem is you're not realizing what's happening. So,
Alright, so I'm gonna go right?
Yep. That's what you want, okay?
Okay, now back to the left.
Yep. A little bit too soon on the rudder, a little bit too much.
Okay, gonna go back to the right. I'm trying not to look at gauges. I'm trying to use that gas needle on the dashboard.
Yeah.
My point of reference is how the nose is behaving.
No, too much left rudder.
Much left. Okay, back to the right. Holy moly, we're up there, aren't we?
Yeah. A little bit more right. There you go, now left. There you go. Oh, too much left. Okay, I have the airplane. Let's take a break.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's alright, it's just, you know, you gotta learn to process everything that's going on, and you're focusing on maybe one or two things at a time. You need to be focusing on at least three just to do the basics.
We're heading east, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Good. Doing good.
Now we're turning north.
That's correct.
Addison out front, maybe off to the left a little.
Yeah, well that's actually Stoughton there.
Oh, okay, Lake Gaganza.
Yep,
Oh, we're up by my house.
yep.
Oh, it's Stoughton trailer.
Yep. Stoughton Airport, just
Oh, Matson, right?
Matson right close to it there.
We a long way. Look right down there, see where the houses go, and then they turn left. That open field right there. I think that's where I fly my planes all the time.
Okay. I'm not really seeing it, but
There's that tree line there of the neighborhood, and then it takes a left. Big open field there. There's a pond down in there somewhere.
I see about 3 different places that conform to roughly that description, but there we go.
Alright.
So, I'm going to demonstrate some slow flight here. So before we do slow flight, we're going to do a gump check. So gas is on, undercarriage, I have a wheel, mixture is rich anyway, and power, we got the carb heat on. So when we do slow flight, we're basically going to set it up as if we were going to do a landing. So I'm going to throttle back about 1500, trim nose up, and I'm going to try to hold 3,000 feet while I slow down. I'm going to slow down to about 45.
We're going down.
As I slow down, it takes just a little bit more right rudder.
Everything gets mushy, right?
Everything gets a little bit mushy, that's right.
So we're at 50 now, correct?
Yeah, 50. And we're slowing down.
We're a real high angle of attack now.
And there's a little bit of a stall. So I'm right on the edge. So 50 is about all we get. So holding just about 51, 52 here. Clear on the left. I'm going to do a very gentle left turn. I'm still going to have to hold neutral or maybe even slightly right rudder. But think of it as rudder pressure more than rudder movement most of the time.
Stuff needs to slow down in my noggin.
Make my turn to the left here to turn to south. And look to the right. I'm going to turn back to west, so front your right rudder. And I'm going to roll out level. We'll go to left rudder. And I'm going to go back to level flight. So full power, carb heat off. Nose down to maintain 3,000 feet. As it speeds up, I'm going to start trimming back to level.
I can feel the stick going in as you do that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna set the trim so it's happy. And we're back to level flight. So if we want to do a power off stall, that was slow flight. Stall is just taking it to a little bit further, so carpet on. And I'm gonna get back down to 3,000 feet.
I could hear the motor slow down when you pulled that.
Yeah, pull the throttle out a little bit, so yep, the motor would slow down. And I'm just going to slowly throttle out. And I'm going to pitch to maintain 3,000, which is going to start bringing the nose up slowly. And I'm just going to hold 3,000 as long as I can. It comes back. More. There's the stall. Full throttle. I've got speed again, pitch up. I lost about 50 feet.
Only 50 feet?
Back up to 3,000. There we go. So that's a power off stall. Okay?
First time I've ever experienced that.
It's pretty gentle, isn't it?
Not so bad, yeah. You're quick on the gas, it's like boom, boom.
Yep.
It's like all in one motion, both knobs
Yep.
go in.
Yep, so that's what you gotta do. So once again,
RP on.
throttle back.
Throttle all the way back, or do you keep it around 1,000?
I throttle all the way back. Hold the altitude, hold the heading. Keep the wings level. Nose coming up. There's the stall. Power up. Nose
Felt that
down.
little bit of vibration.
Yep. And
Wow, you only
nose
lost
back.
a few feet that time.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, oil pressure
So
sitting
when-
on 50.
Yep. When you're ready, you have the airplane again. And we'll just keep going this way for a little while. I think the biggest thing for you to get used to here is just that everything on a full-scale airplane is a lot less exaggerated than it is in the RC world. It's tiny control movements most of the time. I think part of the problem is you're just over-controlling.
Yep, I know it. It's like, I feel like I'm going to the left, but the ball doesn't tell me that. I'm trying trying to get us back down to 3,000.
Yeah. Well, you did go to the left initially. Oh.
Should probably just quit looking at the gauges and
Yeah.
try and fly.
Yeah.
Fly by feel.
Yep, exactly.
Quit overthinking. I see the Platteville mounds out there
Yep.
about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Yep.
They were back down to 3,000. Wings are somewhat level.
Yep.
Okay, pull back a little bit to hold altitude because
Yeah.
we were getting down on 3.
Okay, now let's mix things up a little bit. Let's look to the right. Let's make a right turn to north. Very gentle. There you go. That's plenty. You were good initially, but then you didn't keep the rudder in when you got to your level of turn. You got to your bank angle. You didn't keep the rudder in. And there you go. And you can just fly straight and level here for a while.
I'm watching that beacon straight in front of us. That's my landmark.
Bit more right rudder. Just get that ball back in the center. There you go. Or left aileron, one of the two. Okay, you can look to the left. And we can go back to heading west again.
Hey, little rudder, little aileron.
Yeah, there you go. That's plenty. No, you
Come off the rudder a little bit.
don't need to bank any steeper than that.
And once we line up with that tree line, we want to come out level on there.
There you go, a little bit of right rudder as you roll out. Very good.
I will get this, Jake, eventually.
Eventually.
I don't want you to get frustrated and say, God, what did I get myself into? We're holding just a hair under 3,000, so we're not losing. That's good.
That's good. You know, my philosophy is the airplane teaches you to fly. I'm just here to help you listen to it.
Yeah, that's my problem. There's some feelings going on in my body that don't make sense with what I'm supposed to do with the plane.
Yep.
And I know that it can only come with time, so.
Yeah.
We're almost back to the water tower.
Yep. So you see that area of dark trees ahead?
Yep.
Ahead on the right?
Yep.
Just on the far side of that, you see a bunch of white buildings?
That's the runway.
That's the airport, yep.
Okay. Woo, little turbulence there.
Yeah.
Not too bumpy. I thought it would be a lot worse out here.
So we can actually start descending back down, so you can pull the throttle back to about 1,700 RPM.
Little more, Philip, little more. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, you need a little bit, your center point for the rudder moves a little bit to the left now that you're going faster and you don't have as much power. There you
Still
go.
heading for that water tower, is that right?
Yeah, that's about right. Actually, you can just head straight for the airport now. So,
All right, let me find it.
off to the right, just this side of Blue Mounds. You see Blue Mounds on the horizon?
Yeah.
Head for Blue Mounds. Clear on the right. And of
I
course,
had the runway or the airport earlier.
Yeah, well, if
Oh,
you-
I see it now.
Yeah, you just
A
head-
little grass strip between the
Yeah.
two things of trees.
Yeah, so if you need to go more right to be headed for Blue Mounds.
The ball was way left, so.
Yeah, but I mean you need to turn right, not you need right rudder, but you need to turn right. Turn the airplane right. There you go, that's about right. We're just about down to 2,000 feet when we do.
Gonna level off it too.
Yeah. It's 2,000 feet, so you can go back to about 2,200 RPM. Level the wings. Keep the wings level. There you go. And about 2,200 RPM. There you go. That'll do. Oh, back to the right. Keep it headed for Blue Mounds.
Yep, I see the runway. Or the airport. Straight ahead, right?
Yep. So we can get on the radio and we can say Brooklyn Severu traffic, Aeronautical 85917, 2 miles southeast inbound for landing runway 31, Brooklyn Severu. I'll get it. Brooklyn Severu traffic, Aeronautical 85917, 2 miles southeast inbound for left pattern, runway 31, Brooklyn Severu. Oh, and I didn't even notice I didn't put the, I'll deal with that on the ground, but I didn't even hook up the antenna to the airplane. I was just using the radio's antenna. So you're getting a little low. You want to be at 2,000 feet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was going the wrong way.
Might need a little bit more power. And you're still kind of headed over to the left here, so you can bring it back to the right.
We want to fly along the side of it,
Wrong
correct?
side of the runway with the runway on your side. There you go.
Ooh, I straightened that out pretty good.
And a little more to the right.
Oh, it felt good at least.
Now you're more or less headed for Blue Mounds. Something to realize is if you're using the dipstick as a way to point at something, that's a really bad way to point at something because that's in the center, so you're looking off to the side. What you want to look at is the front of the cowling that's straight ahead of you to judge where you're going.
Or a spot on the windshield?
Yeah.
I can't see the cowling.
Yeah. Because from your perspective, what's straight in front of the airplane is going to be under about that point.
Okay.
If you put the dipstick on something, you're actually headed way off to the left of it.
I won't do that.
Heavy traffic, Aeronautical 85917, left upwind, runway 31, Brooklyn separated.
Up, I'm gaining a little altitude.
Ah. So I'll take the airplane again. You can keep your hands on the controls, feel what I'm doing. I'm going to get us back down to our altitude here.
Oh yeah, we got a little high, didn't we? Sorry.
Yeah. You can keep your left hand on the yoke, feel what I'm doing, keep your feet on the pedals. So I'm looking down at the runway, I'm just making sure there's no one on it, making sure there's, it looks like it's in good condition. And we can turn onto a crosswind. Discovery traffic 917, left crosswind runway 31, Brooklyn 7. So now we're on a crosswind, so I'm also, since the wind is going down the runway, I'm crabbing to the right a little bit. You see,
Yep.
And that's so that I track my path over the ground.
And we do that with the rudder, correct?
No, we don't do that. We do that with pointing the airplane. You don't do that with the rudder when you're up this high, because otherwise you'd be flying uncoordinated.
So you just coordinate it going crooked.
Yep. That's called crabbing, and when you do it with the rudder, that's called slipping. So you always want to crab when you're up at altitude like this. You only slip if you have a crosswind and you're landing in a crosswind, or you want to lose altitude quicker. So clear on the left, I'm going to turn onto a downwind. Keep your left hand on the yoke. So I'm going to do my before landing check. So gas on, undercarriage, mixture, and power. We're abeam the end of the runway, so I'm going to throttle back.
Gas is where we throttle back and then we make our...
Power, and then trim. I'm going to trim for landing. I'll nose up. And I'm going to look for about 60, 55 to 60 on the speed. Over when the runway is about 45 degrees behind the wing, I'm going to make a nice coordinated left turn onto a base leg. And I'm going to roll out with lots of right rudder because we're at a pretty slow speed. And speed down. And I'm going to turn final with the left rudder. A little bit of crab because the wind is coming a little bit from the left. And I'm going to look at a point near the end of the runway, and I'm going to fix that in the windshield, see if it's getting higher in the windshield or lower. So it was getting a little bit higher in the windshield, which means we're getting low, so I added a little bit of power. Now it's starting to move down in the windshield, so I can reduce the power again, and I'm just looking at that point near the end of the runway. So like right about where there's that dark spot on the...
I'm looking at that first mud spot.
Mud spot on the road, on the...
Right by the hangars there.
On the concrete road, yeah. And I'm trying to fix that at a point in the windshield and just keep it there. You see how it's starting to move up in the windshield, so a little bit of power. Get us over these trees.
We get low, we look at the end, right?
Now we're looking at the end. And I'm just going to hold it off the ground, hold it off the ground. Oh, a little bit of a gust, picked us up again. Not my best landing ever, but this airplane is such a kite in the wind that...
those big...
Yeah, let's go past this runway light so we have more room to turn around.
You're going to turn left?
Yep.
Have my foot ready on the brake.
So now we're going downwind, so I've got the yoke forward because the...
Right, you want to push the tail down, correct?
Right, and because there's reverse flow over the tail, forward stick when we're going away from the wind, back yoke when we're going into the wind.
All right, we are back on the ground, and we survived. It was a little bumpy out there because the winds were pretty high, but we did okay.
Yep.
We survived. Not that I had any fears with Jake at command, but I think when I took command a couple of times, he had some fears because you just watched the video and it was not my best day in the sky. So,
Well, it was a little bit challenging conditions, and you know, the big thing is, as you're flying RC, a lot of those control movements you can get away with kind of slamming it around and using the rudder differently or not at all. And in the full-scale airplane, of course, it's all about finesse. So it's all about getting the right amount of control of movement for what we're doing. So when we're at cruise, up 3,000 feet like we were cruising along at about 8,500 miles an hour, your control movements are pretty small. As you kind of said a little bit earlier to me, talking about teaching people to fly RC.
yeah, we do that. They usually, especially little kids, everything is as far as it can go. Up, down, left,
Yep.
right. They're banging everything. We say, just think about what direction you go and your fingers will go with you. And I think
A little bit of that.
that's part of my problem. You said I'm overcorrecting, I'm overdoing everything. I'm too punchy. And
Yep, a little bit. Yeah, when we're on the ground, we do a little bit of what we call punch and jab on the rudder, because when we're on the ground, of course, in a tail dragger, any kind of turn will tend to get tighter and tighter. So we want, anytime we make a correction, we want to take it out right away so the turn doesn't rack up too tight. But when we're in the air, everything is about just very measured, gentle corrections, and keeping everything coordinated with each other. So there were a couple times also where you were getting, you know, a gust of wind would disturb the airplane, and you would try to correct for it, but then you'd end up going sideways, and you'd be still thinking you were going the other way, and
Right.
you'd kind of end up going backwards on the rudder.
what you see the plane do and your body feel doesn't make sense with what I want to react with it. And hopefully next time up, Jake can get that pounded into my noggin and figure it out. So One thing I do want to do some more work on, it's like I know I need to figure this out, is the taxi. So when we get a day where it's not like 100-mile-an-hour winds out there, you know,
Yeah.
maybe taxi up and down the runway, practice on the brakes a few
I
times.
think that's a great idea.
That's one thing that for me, I told Jake when we landed, it's like, I'm scared out of my mind trying to think that I'm going to take this thing off and land it one day when I can barely taxi it around without getting into a ground loop. So I know that that's something that comes with time, but that's one of those, for me, it's a hurdle. I think when I get that down, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable about where I'm at. Plus that coordination up there. So we did fly straight and level for a while, fairly well. I pointed my nose at a spot and I was able to get us there pretty well. And even a few times we bounced around, I corrected and kept us there. So I started to get in that groove again.
Yep, for sure.
The other thing that I noticed from that stick and rudder, you know, you control with your altitude, and it's kept pulling back to slow down, but I kept feeling like I'm pulling way back too far.
Right. And that's something that we talk about is when you're controlling your speed with elevator and your altitude with power. That's called, the more modern name for it is the region of reverse command, or being on the backside of the power curve. So anytime you're at best glide speed or below, so in this airplane about 60 miles an hour or slower than that, your power is controlling altitude and your pitch is controlling speed. If you're faster than about 60, then your elevator is controlling altitude and your power is controlling speed. So when we're up cruising, your elevator is controlling your altitude because we're going faster than our best glide speed.
Okay, maybe that's where I was confusing the two.
And when we get into the traffic pattern, we're down close to our best glide speed.
I felt a little more comfortable on it there. It's just there was a couple of times where I was trying to pitch up and slow down a little bit. It's just like I felt like we were going farther. It still felt like the angle of attack was just getting really big. And it's probably because of what you just said. So anyway, it's one of those things that I wanted to practice and get a feel for. And then when we did the stalls and the slow flight, that felt more natural with the pitch up that way. It didn't feel as, I felt like, okay, this makes sense. I understand it. So I didn't touch any of that. He did it, but as you saw in the video, but it was a good education. I got to see and feel what it felt like, and a stall and the whole shooting match. So
for sure.
I did learn some stuff. I don't feel like I accomplished much.
Well, we've got, you know,
there's still a long, we're only 2 hours in,
Yeah,
you know, we've got a long way to go. I didn't feel like I accomplished much, but maybe that's because my expectations are, I think I should be grabbing it faster than I am.
And everyone goes at a different pace.
In truth, I'm probably on par with most people. So.
Yeah, you're not too far off.
Okay, I don't know. Don't tell me which direction I'm off. It's okay. All right, so I think that's about it for this particular video. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, subscribe, like down there. And if you have a chance, check out the GoFundMe and help us out a little bit if you've got some extra cash. And it will help us go farther in our ratings and in our accomplishments. And if we get enough money bonus, we'll get us a 360 camera to stick out on a wing and get some really cool footage. So if you can do that, it's much appreciated. Thank you for all the comments. Leave us some comments and likes down there, and we much appreciate it. And until next time, it's ground school. We'll see ya.